Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee and the Cross, Love, Life, and Money. Thanks for checking us out. This show is all about we as Christians, how we're supposed to live as God has intended. The Bible tells us our number one thing is we're supposed to do is first love God with all our hearts, all our minds, and all our souls. Then we're called to love our neighbors as ourselves. Those around Jesus asked who our neighbors are, and Jesus told the parable about the Good Samaritan. But I mean, come on, that was like 2,000 years ago. What's it look like today? Well, in this show, we're going to tackle some of the difficult topics for us, including loving our neighbors, living our lives dedicated to God, and that includes finances and possessions. I've heard that there are 365 verses in the Bible that talk about faith, and over 500 on love, but there's over 2,300 on money and possessions. That tells me God knew how we handle our money and things are going to be a struggle. So if you're finding it difficult to manage your money God's way, maybe you feel overwhelmed, can't get ahead, or maybe you're wondering what does loving God or my neighbor look like, you're in the right place. I wanted to dedicate this platform to helping all of us learn how to love God better and lead like no one else where we live, work, and play. And today I've got a guest. This guest is my brother-in-law, Pete. Hey, Pete, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Steve.
Wow, it's my pleasure. We've been trying to figure this out for, a couple months now.
Yeah.
Get together and make
it's
it
all
happen.
my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault. Life happens, right?
Yes.
Life happens. So, Pete, tell us all about yourself.
All right. So, born in Souderton, Pennsylvania, and actually Sellersville, Grandview Hospital.
Grandview? Okay.
Born into a non-believing family. Neither one of my parents was a Christian. My dad, from an old, huge Polish-Irish Catholic family, altar boy, the whole 9 yards. My mom was raised Episcopalian, not a believer. Shortly after I was born in 1964, so I'm dating myself.
Yeah, I usually don't give dates. It was a while ago.
Shortly after I was born, way back when, my mom got saved through a one-on-one ministry from a friend of hers in high school.
Cool.
And she really was on fire for Jesus. And it took quite a number of years for my dad to come around, but this isn't his testimony; it's mine. So, I was kind of the average kid growing up in your local Baptist church up there, First Baptist in Lansdale, and I heard about Jesus all week. My mom talked about him all the time, and I was at this club or that club at the church. And it was when I was about 11 years old that I, through some serious leading, I guess you could say, by a dear old saint at the church, took me through what it was to be saved, what it was to be a believer in Jesus. We were going through these classes, like once you got to a certain age at the church,
Okay, yeah.
It was like you go through classes and, you become a member of the church and you get baptized and that's it.
Right.
And, I wasn't ready. We got into this room and they said, "What's your testimony?" And I was like, I first came to know Jesus like a year ago, and that was about it. And Mr. Swartley pulled me aside afterward and said, "Hey, we need to talk because I don't think you're ready yet." And he could tell, like my testimony was I didn't have one because I didn't have a relationship with Jesus at that point. And he lovingly, for the next 2 months, just took me through on Wednesday nights, on Sunday mornings. And he said, when we got to the end of like 7 or 8 weeks, he said, "I want you to write down for me what you think it means to trust Jesus as your Savior."
Cool.
And what it means to be born again. And when I did, he just hugged me. And I was like, wow, I get this.
I guess I
really
did
get
right.
this stuff. And, so I was, the fall of 1976,
Cool.
Easter morning of 77, I was able to go out there with all the other people that were being baptized at the sunrise service and say, yeah, I have trusted Jesus
Cool.
as my Savior. So,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I was really, I had a hunger to find out more about God,
Nice.
about building my relationship with Him, and learning more about Jesus and who He was.
Cool.
Then my teenage years moved along, and there was really no set discipleship in place. And I really wandered. And, I'm going to give the Reader's Digest version. We could go all over the place and
Sure.
go for hours probably.
Sure.
But long story short, through a series of God moments in my life, I was directed to certain places at certain times. I wandered, through most of my 20s. I actually ended up leaving my church just because there was nothing there. I didn't feel like I was even connected to God at some points when I was there. So in 1987, I got a job at J. Riggins. It was a men's clothing store in Willow Grove Mall. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah, tell me about the times when things were kind of slow. What did you do?
Well, as the assistant manager, I had the ability to just call break time for everybody when there were no customers in the store. I mean, there were no customers in the
I was
mall.
going to say the whole mall was dead sometimes.
And we would have these impromptu baseball games inside the store.
Baseball.
We'd make tape baseballs and we'd use...
What was the bat? I forget what the bat was. Was that one of the metal...
It was one of the bars.
the racks.
Off the racks, yeah. The clothing. Anyway, yeah.
I remember seeing some of those tape balls going like flying out the door, across the walkway, down into the first floor. It's like, yeah, that's too far. I'm not going down there.
Yeah. And I really was happy that nobody ever found out what store those things came out of. Because,
And the fact that we actually never hit anybody that we know of.
Yeah, true.
Nobody on the one level we were on. It's the other levels we're not sure about.
I'm sure if anybody got hit down on the first level, they would have probably grabbed that thing and come up looking for the store for a couple of weeks.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was fun. I started working with this guy named Stan, or known as Lee to his family. And one night, his mom, his youngest brother, and his sister came into the store to bring dinner or something like that. And I saw this girl, and I was just like, wow. And I'm like, he's a Christian, and she's a Christian, and she's his sister. I'm like, wow. And then I found out she was like 6 years younger than me, and that kind of just knocked it out of the park for me. But I just figured, oh yeah, she's too young for me or whatever. But she was really nice, and yeah. But over the next couple of years, I was invited to do stuff with the family. Go to jazz band competitions at Upper Moreland and stuff like that. And then I'd get invited back for butter cake. And your mom, man, that butter cake. I never had butter cake in my life.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this stuff's great. I hope I get invited to more stuff here.
I wonder which recipe she used.
I never asked. But, I just got invited to do more and more stuff. And I was being asked to come to the house more and do more stuff with your family. And
which is kind of funny because now you're in like 88, 89-ish, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when I had gotten married in 88, so I wasn't around as much.
Right.
So at the beginning of you coming over, I really wasn't there much because Becky and I were getting married. So
Right.
we had all that going on. So I didn't see this interaction with you, right?
Yeah.
Until later.
I didn't even really know that you existed.
Other than the fact that we worked together at the store.
Yeah.
Maybe he's really not a brother. Maybe he's just, pretending.
Yeah, I'm like, who is this guy? He looks really familiar. But yeah, anyway.
Anyway, so you kept coming back.
I kept coming back, and I felt so good around your family. I felt like, yeah, this is what hanging around with Christian people is like, at whatever age they are. They're just,
Cool.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about. It's just,
yeah.
I felt at home.
A lot of times it's like when you walk into a church, you can just sense it. Right?
Yes.
You just have this feeling, or you could walk into some place that's like, Spirit's really not quite working here.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt like it. Yeah.
Cool.
So, over the next couple years, I would do stuff. We helped Lee and Robin move, and I remember driving back and forth between the houses, and I'm driving, and Stuart and Sharon are in the front seat of the pickup with me, and just moving furniture or whatever, and I remember, we were playing softball in the parking lot over at Lee and Robin's apartment.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, she can really throw. And she can catch. And wow. And yeah.
She did have a couple brothers that she had to, at least be able to throw a punch once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And I noticed your dad was he was like always close by because I was the stranger, and he was being a good dad. But, I invited Lee and Robin to come to this Labor Day picnic I was having. This was 92.
Okay.
And I said, hey, if Sharon's available, tell her to come. And apparently she wasn't going to come because I didn't ask her directly, which now I totally understand. That was kind of like wimpy of me.
Right.
But she came. And I saw her car coming down the driveway, and I'm like bouncing off the walls. I am so happy. And things like really took off from there. I felt like God just like totally put her in my life.
Sure.
To kind of finalize redirecting me.
Right.
I started going to church, with Sharon and your parents, and I ended up joining the choir at COD, and we were in the Billy Graham Crusade choir in 92.
Nice.
It was the night that Reggie White spoke.
Okay.
And I ended up rededicating myself that night.
Cool.
And I also had I get chills even thinking about it, but I had the extreme privilege of leading the guy next to me to the Lord.
Nice.
It's
nice.
Real nice Catholic guy who was totally convicted. He's like, up until tonight, I thought I was a Christian. And I walked him through everything along with another guy that was there. Just, everything that Billy had said that night and, the other speakers and Reggie and he's like, wow. And it was like, yeah, I want Jesus.
Right. Wow.
It was exciting. It was so cool. And it was like, wow, I rededicated myself, and then he gets saved, and we had been singing next to each other for 3 nights, and I never knew. Okay. But so from 92, we jump forward a few years, and, it's 1994, January, and I'm just like, Sharon and I aren't engaged yet. We're trying to wait and all that stuff. And we went to Longwood Gardens, and we're walking around. This was like right after Christmas.
Okay. Lights still up?
Yes. Nice. Yeah. It was like the first week of January.
Okay.
And we're walking all over the place, and I've got the engagement ring in my pocket, and we're in the Rose building.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be great. And then I'm like, I haven't talked to her dad yet. I can't do this. So it was like the next week, another guy at church and I put together this thing out in front of my parents' house. They had these big oak trees, and we strung up this landscaping wire out there,
Okay.
like garden wire.
Right.
And then we used Christmas lights to spell out "Marry Me" with a question mark. And then I hooked it up to the front lights. And when you flip the lights on the front porch,
came up.
that would pop up. This was the coldest day of the year.
Of course it was.
And it was snowing. It was like 3 degrees. We had to keep coming in like every couple of minutes because our hands were freezing. But it was worth it. I'll tell you, it was totally worth it. And
It's part of the story I don't
yeah.
ever remember hearing.
yeah, I don't think I have shared it too often.
Okay.
But yeah, it was.
It's only been how many years?
It was really
I'm
cool.
just now hearing
You'll
it.
be 30 in May, dude.
Ouch, 30. Wow, you old.
Ouch. Yeah. You're coming up on 37.
We've been
38?
together for 40.
Okay.
So this year will be 37.
37.
Yeah.
Wow, you call me old.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's only because we were high school sweethearts, so
No,
we were
that's-
together since.
Yeah. that's so cool.
So
Yeah.
cool. Thank you, man. So, okay, so you flip the lights on.
Flip the lights on. Well,
She ran the other way?
I
or-
got her. I said, I think I see something out front. When I tell you to, I'm going to look out the window, and you go over there and stand by the front. No, sorry, back up. I told her to go stand by the window, and I said, I'm going to flip the front lights on, see if you see anything out there. So she goes and stands by the window. She was very reluctant because she didn't know what it was. So I flipped the light switch, and the lights came on, and she just puts her hands over her mouth, and she just looks at me, and I said, well, will you? And she said yes. And
What do you see?
the rest is history. I had
Nice.
I had set up a video camera, and my parents had one of those corner cabinets
Okay.
in their dining room, and I had the video camera concealed in there, and
And did it work?
it worked.
Awesome.
Yes, it did. It was so cool.
Cool.
She said yes. We got married May of '95. We have 3 kids.
Cool.
Tamara came along in '98, Allison in 2001, Nathaniel in 2003, and praise God, all 3 of them know him and are walking with
Awesome.
him. And
It's always great.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Cool.
just different things over the years, and moving forward, to like 2013 or so, I was getting ready to start an MBA in project management at doing online at Liberty, and
Cool.
I felt God say, no, that's not what I want for you. So I stopped, and I backed out, and I flipped my enrollment over to the School of Divinity and did a master's in theological studies instead.
Cool.
I really felt called to write and teach.
Okay.
And during the time when after Tamara's accident in 2009, and if people want a full story, I could probably do that some other time. But
Yeah, we can do that again sometime.
yeah, during the 6 weeks that she was at Children's Hospital, I really just my talent, I guess you could say, that God gave me. It's not me; it's all Him. But just to write, expressively, I guess you could say, from the first night. I went to the lounge there at CHOP, and an hour and a half later, I was finishing up an email to about 50 or 60 people, and that list grew to over 200.
Wow.
This is before Facebook, so
Right.
it had to be emails. But long story short, I felt like, just with different things that different professors would say at school, and just his leading, I really felt like I needed to write for him.
Cool.
And teach the word. I have opportunities to do that here and there, and currently looking for
More opportunities?
more opportunities. Yes. And we'll see what God has.
Yeah.
We're trusting him. He's never let us down. Why would he start now?
Right. Right. So, quick question.
Yes.
Going back to the time that you felt comfortable, you had said something about how you felt that this was God's way of bringing you back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that, or did you sense that at the time, or is that something you felt later?
That's something I felt later, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I could see when you get a few years down the road, it's always easy to look back and see how he was directing and how all the pieces were just falling into place where he wanted them,
Right.
not where I wanted them, because I mess it up if I do it myself.
Really? I feel like I do that all the time. That's like my lot in life, is to mess things up.
Yeah. I heard something interesting on the way here. If I could just
Yeah, go
have
for
a
it.
minute or two. David Jeremiah.
Okay.
And, I don't remember who he was quoting, but it was a great little story. And he's talking about Christians and how about we get knocked down, but we never get knocked out. And he said, there was this guy who said, oh yeah, Christian life is simple. You get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up, all the way to heaven. And that's our lives. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not perfect. We are flawed. But praise God, when we do mess up, he's faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness after we repent.
Right. Right. It's crazy that some people believe that you have to clean yourself up before you come to God. And I've been going back through The Chosen. So that's part of my quiet time in the morning, right?
Okay.
So I'm reading, I do the Bible app, little devotional. Then I have a Craig Groeschel 365 little devotional, almost like Daily Bread type devotional.
Life Church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but there's dates but no days. So March 20th today, right? I read that. Then usually as you know, we're pretty musical. We're into music around our house. So I'll like listen to old hymns or worship songs or something to keep my mind in that mode. And then I'll watch an episode or at least half of an episode of The Chosen and try and glean out of that what I can get. And it's funny because the past 2 episodes, somebody said, but no, I'm a mess. And they're like, yeah, so are all of us. And he really wants you. And he's coming after you. He's seeking you. He's looking for you. And yeah, you're not going to get cleaned up until you get with him anyway. So you might as well just do it now, basically, right? It's just interesting, the mindsets.
Yeah, I always like it when people say, I found God or I found Jesus. And I'm like, no, he's not the one that's lost.
He knows where he's at.
Right. Yeah. Thankfully.
Right? I mean, he's the one been pursuing you this whole time.
Right.
You just finally opened your eyes and said, yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So very cool. So you did biblical studies and you were writing. Are you still writing emails?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I do posts.
Okay.
Under the Thought-Provoking Christian.
Okay.
I had stopped. We actually did we did a social media fast for the month of February, and I'm just kind of getting back into the swing.
Okay.
Either on Instagram or Facebook. I'll
Which one
post
is
there.
does it matter either place or?
If I usually when I post, it's on Facebook, but if there's something that I want to post on Instagram, it just rolls over to Facebook anyway.
Okay.
So I try to go to Instagram as much as possible because I can hit both places at the same time.
Sure.
I don't do a whole lot on X except reposting other people's stuff.
I'm not even on that. I mean, I have an account, but I don't even use it.
Yeah, I got on there really and LinkedIn around the same time.
Okay.
Just for job stuff.
Right.
Not a whole lot more than that.
LinkedIn's changed a lot lately.
Yes.
I'm not a fan.
It has. Yeah, me neither.
Not a fan personally.
But yeah, so
So we'll put that link to your Facebook in the show notes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, make sure you get that to me and we'll get that on there.
Yes, sir. Will do.
You're funny.
So, yeah. Yeah, but looks aren't everything, right? So just kind of following through on that, I was looking for ministries to get involved with, outside of, being a pastor. I don't feel called to be a senior pastor, maybe like an exec or an admin guy who's kind of in the background.
Sure, preach once in a while, but mainly you're keeping the place going, so to speak.
Yeah. That's really where I see myself. And
okay. I think you should be a youth pastor. Run around with all them Utes.
All them Utes. I worked with youth over the years. It was always a lot of fun. It was fun beating them at basketball and stuff like that.
It's always fun when you beat them because
when you're twice their age.
They think they're hot, and you're twice their age. You're old, man. Yeah, well, I just beat you.
But we've been going to Calvary Chapel for almost 10 years now.
Wow.
I think this coming week will be 10 years. And I've been looking for something I could really get involved with and sink my teeth into. And they started a discipleship ministry, like a mentoring ministry a few years back. And, it's older, guys who are more mature in their faith. And it runs in, I guess, trimesters. So every 4 months,
Okay.
we will switch off and get somebody new.
Okay.
And that keeps the younger guys getting somebody fresh, and you're getting new perspectives and things. And the one thing, and I think I was relating this to you a couple weeks ago when we were, talking about different things, and I said the one thing that I really like to look for is how these younger guys handle money,
Right.
and or credit cards.
Stuff.
Right, stuff. Exactly. So I'll usually, one of our sessions, I'll go to a pizza place in New Britain. I won't use any names for, to protect the innocent, but, and I'll...
Wait, not the ice cream place?
No, not the ice cream place. It's a pizza place. Near, right next to the Giant in New Britain. Now, everybody that knows where that is knows who I'm talking about.
Right.
But, and then I'll usually use a credit card because it gets paid off at the end of the month. That's just where Sharon and I are. We're, God's blessed us to be able to do that and only use it if we can pay it off at the end of the month. There's no interest being paid, no fees, nothing like that. Anyway, but then inevitably, a couple times we'll go out someplace else and, they will want to pay me back by offering to pay.
Right.
And as soon as they pull that credit card out, it just like segues right into my, hey,
I think we're talking about money today.
how do you so how do you handle that credit card? And, you don't run a balance, do you? And
Dum,
I said,
dum, dum.
yeah. And I really, I don't want to say I come down hard on them, but I really let them know exactly, where I was when I was their age, because I was horrible at managing debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could take it on like nobody's business.
Oh, I was good at that too.
Use one credit card to pay off the other one,
Right.
and that kind of thing. And
Right.
just,
You get to 0%, you just keep floating in between a bunch of them, which I don't think there's any 0% at the moment. But it's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it really gives me an opportunity to really get into a different area. We talk about all kinds of stuff from a biblical perspective, but very often you don't get the opportunity to talk about money and what God says about money,
Right.
and how we're supposed to handle it.
Right.
So that's been a huge blessing. I really feel like, the discipleship ministry itself has just let me flourish.
Nice.
And God has blessed me so much.
Awesome.
Just being able to hang out with these guys and pour into them and teach them in the Word and just watch them grow. And, the last guy I had, a younger guy, he'd only been saved for about 8 months. And he was just on fire and learning so much
Awesome.
about the Bible and memorizing scripture like you wouldn't believe. And it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. That was one of my not good things. I'm not good at memorizing where it is, where it's found, all that. And, my grandmother in Sunday school would beat it into my head and it still wouldn't work. And then fortunately for me, as you know, I grew up in the Grace Brethren denomination, which is changed to another name now, I heard. But they used to have quizzing, and they would have a teenage group against another teenage group at another church, and they would give you the passage. You'd have to memorize everything in that passage, and first one up wins. And the guy who was the best man at my wedding, his brother was stellar. You would never know it, but he knew where everything was all the time. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. That's not me.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, church fell apart and they stopped doing it, but at least ours did anyway. But yeah, it's like, I can tell you it's there. I know it's there, and I usually paraphrase.
Right.
Because there's so many different versions out there now that you can pretty much paraphrase and be very close to one of them.
Yeah.
But they ask me where's that found? Give me a minute. Let me look it up. Hey, wasn't my strength. So.
In what book of the Bible does Jesus call Matthew?
In what book does he call Matthew? Let's see. Matthew was writing it all down in The Chosen.
That was a softball.
That's funny. It's in there. Give me a minute. Let me look it up. Speaking about that, it's really interesting about how different the four Gospels actually are, but how they're a lot alike, right? And I heard somebody say the other day, well, that just proves that they were written by fallible men. We're like, well, yeah, but there's a theme that runs through all of them, and it's like a car accident. You talk to four different people, you're going to get four different thoughts on that car accident. How it happened, whose fault it was, who hit who blew the stop sign. You'll get different things, but the Gospels are the same exact way. It's all talking about the same thing. It's just from a different perspective.
Right.
So just interesting.
I was doing a study on that with the resurrection, and when the women went to the tomb early in the morning.
Okay.
Was it just before dawn? Was it still dark? Was it
dawn
early
even
in the
there?
morning? It's each different version,
Right.
or each gospel says, one says it was still dark. The other one says just before dawn.
Which it can be still
At
dark
sunrise.
just before dawn. Was first light out yet?
Yeah. And Matthew says it was Mary and so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
Luke says Mary and the other women. Because Luke is just like, let's get to the point. Everybody already knows who was there.
Right.
I don't need to spell
Right.
all that out.
Right.
You know,
Sorry,
It's-
something just came to my mind. Keep
Nah,
going. I'll tell you in a minute.
that's fine. But I did this study last year doing one of the discipleship sessions, and I went through and I painstakingly put down all of these alleged contradictions.
Okay.
And listed them out in, the crucifixion, the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm reading my Bible the other day, and I flipped open to the area right between Malachi and Matthew, and there's a complete harmony of all four Gospels. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But
Already done.
you know what? It'll sound prideful, but I felt really good about my study that I had done. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sticking with my study. I'm not going to cheat and use that other guy's
Somebody else
stuff.
can use some of it. I worked hard on this one.
But yeah, it was, it's amazing. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And, Matthew was writing from an eyewitness standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Luke was writing as a reporter after the
Right.
fact.
Right. He's gathering all this
Right.
information and putting it down from everything he got.
Right.
Yeah. I like the way they're portraying in The Chosen, they're portraying Matthew. Have you seen the shows yet?
No.
You got to watch it. It's going to put a different perspective. It puts you there
Okay.
as if you're a bystander. And you see the calling, you see Matthew as the tax collector. And then you see the woman at the well, and you see him calling everybody and just how it all works. It's kind of like Charlie Kirk when he had said he went over to Israel and he felt where all of the Bible happened.
Right.
And so it's the same idea, but I'm a video guy, so boom. Anyway, you were talking about how Luke was like, let's get to the point, right?
Right.
And I told you as we were walking up that Becky and I are reading through the Bible chronologically.
Yes.
Leviticus could probably be half the size it is if he wouldn't go with, I told Moses to tell them, and then Moses went and told them everything he just told them. It's like one chapter to the next chapter. It's like, okay, let's just cut this one part out. And Moses went and told him. Okay, next. I told Moses.
Well, the whole book takes place in what, a month?
Yeah, it's
30
crazy.
days? Yeah.
Feels like it's taken us a month to read it.
We've been doing Leviticus at church for the
Okay.
past 2 months.
It's a shorter time to write it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're discipling these guys, and you have opportunities to talk about money and talking about budgets or just money in general. How are you?
Money in general.
Okay.
I touched on budgeting with the one guy who really was asking me about it, and
Okay.
I am not a master budgeter. And, I freely admit that to my shame. But fortunately, Sharon does a great job with all that stuff.
Good.
She keeps us kind of
Floating along.
in focus with that. Yeah.
So Dave Ramsey uses the term nerd and free spirit. The nerd is the one who goes up the mount, makes the Excel spreadsheet, and brings it down and presents it to the free spirit. And the free spirit just looks at it and says, yeah, whatever. Am I to assume, not that I'm calling my sister a nerd, but am I to assume she's nerd-esque?
No, I think, let me back up. I'm the nerd
Okay.
when it comes to that stuff.
Okay.
She's the great woman behind the nerd.
Gotcha.
She keeps me heading in the right direction.
Okay. She's
But-
that helpmate.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy how that happens too, right? When you're not.
one blessing after another.
Yeah.
so undeserved.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same here. Same
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I do all the stuff on the financial side.
Okay.
Just I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. She's definitely not a free spirit.
Okay.
She's the nerd behind the nerd. She keeps me pointed in the
nerd's
right
nerd.
direction. Yeah. I
know she's really good with a sale.
yes.
She's yeah. She could teach some women some stuff about selling.
Absolutely.
Sailing.
Sailing.
Buying cheap. Buying inexpensive. Let me rephrase that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, thrift stores.
Yeah.
Let somebody else pay the depreciation.
It's like a car.
Absolutely.
Right? Never buy a
Absolutely.
brand new car unless you're a millionaire because let somebody else take that 30% hit.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that on the past 4 cars.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The Honda, we got the Odyssey, we got as a 3-year-old lease return.
Okay.
It had 32,000 miles on it. It was a 2005. We got it in 8, and we just got rid of it a year and a half ago.
Wow.
With almost 200,000 on it. Needed a new timing belt, and I'm like, yeah. No, I'm not sinking 900 to 1,100 into this at this point. So.
Right.
But still.
Yeah.
And if you plan for it, you save up for it, right?
Yep.
You're not taking that huge loan out, a $40,000 loan.
Oh my word.
I just saw the average new car payment is like $750 a month,
Yikes.
and the average lease is $4 something
Wow.
for something you don't own.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And how hard do you have to work for that to make that just for one car?
Right.
Now you have another car.
Right.
And you have the mortgage and you have this and you have that and you have kids.
You're underwater,
Yeah.
and you're crying poor because you made a lot of poor decisions. And then, you wind up just struggling, stress. I'm part of a networking group, and today's commercial for me was, we get to give a 30-second commercial.
Okay.
And today's commercial was over 50% of employers know that financial stress has a significant impact on the work of the employees. 49% of employees, doesn't matter what they make, whether it's minimum wage or well paid over 100,000, admit financial stress impacts their work. I read that study the other day, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. 50%, and nobody's doing anything about it, though.
Wow.
Right? You would think the employer, knowing they're not doing the best, would maybe have a workplace wellness,
Right.
like a financial wellness plan. But no, they're just letting them go and then watching the revolving door and complaining they can't keep people, or
Right,
guys
right.
aren't doing their job right, or whatever. It's crazy.
And you have to pay twice as much in onboarding new
Right.
people every 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Take that onboarding cost, cut half of that out, and have somebody come in
Absolutely.
and teach these people. Get them out of debt.
Right.
It's crazy.
You.
So- Me. Yes, me. We're actually starting a workplace wellness plan. So I'm just
Great.
putting the final touches on it now and see how it goes.
Very good.
Yeah.
If I had a workplace, I'd invite you.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Maybe I'll teach you how to do it, and then you could do it too. And then we could, double up.
Okay.
Right?
I'm there.
There you go. So I know you had said, and I've admitted this before, that it severely negatively impacts, your debt and everything. What does it do for your options? When you don't have debt, do you have more options?
Oh, yeah. That's wow. That's not even a question. It's just, you can have that money available for more giving, for supporting missions, for making sure that your kids get off to a good start, and so they don't have to take a ton of college loans or anything like
Right.
that, and
Right.
retirement, should the Lord tarry.
Right.
It's having money aside for those rainy days, if there's a job loss, if you have that car that breaks down and it's a huge expense,
Right.
you don't have to freak out about it. You're like, we're covered, we're good.
That was one of the biggest things I noticed when we had gotten out of debt. We had gotten rid of all the debt, everything but the house. And I know, listening to guys like Larry Burkett back in the day and Dave Ramsey and other financial guys, that things just feel different. But until you actually experience it, you don't know how different, whether good or bad, right?
Right.
And as some of the guys now say, you know what, if you don't like being out of debt, you can always go back in debt.
Right.
If there's just too many options after you have all this money, then, go back in debt. But it was just crazy, the opportunities that we could, and maybe it's because we were looking more. Okay, God, you've blessed us with this. Is there somebody who needs that?
Right.
Or or the missionaries, or we just did one of those baby bottle campaigns for the place in Lansdale.
Crossroads, or Crossroads, I guess, is a different one.
I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We do one of those every year too. Yeah.
I just know that Owen wanted to grab one. And so we took it home, and then I have a change bucket, and I made him fill it.
Okay.
It's like, here, you won't be back next week, but I will. So take it, and I'll bring it back. And it was
that's funny.
Yeah, but filled it, no problem. That was a good part.
That's cool. But it's a great thing for kids to see.
Yeah.
They know that they can be a part of something that's going to bless people.
Right.
And
Right.
it's change, but that change adds up.
Yeah.
And that change can add up for a lot of different reasons.
It can. Yeah. So that's awesome. Appreciate it, man. So anything else you want to share while you're here?
I think the one thing, and I don't know how much you want to go into it, but credit card debt, when you get to a point where you can't manage it, there are different solutions out there that you'll hear about. I'll tell you about the bad one that I know of first. I'm not going to use the name because I don't want to, be charged with libel or anything. But
Sure.
It's a national company that offers relief from your debt, and they will contact your creditors and offer them settlements. Say you owe $10,000, they'll say, we'll pay 40% of that. And a lot of times the credit card company or whoever they are is just anxious to get some money back on the books. So they'll write off that $6,000. But
What happens at $6,000? You just write it off and get a tax credit off of that?
yeah, the company gets a tax credit, and you, the
Unknown.
credit card holder,
Okay.
will get a 1099 in the mail, and you're going to have to pay income tax on that $6,000 that was charged off. So now that $6,000 break, you're going to have to pay, let's say you're at the average tax bracket. It's like 34, 39%, somewhere around there. Now you're going to have to pay $2,000 in tax on
That you
top
weren't
of that.
expecting. You're
Right.
hoping to return, and
Yes.
the accountant says, well, guess what?
And on top of that, now you're looking at a mark on your credit because you had a charged off balance. So, I would highly advise against that. Not only are you're going to incur these penalties either way, you're going to have a bad mark on your credit. You're going to have to pay tax on that money that's charged off.
Right.
And you're going to have to pay them a pretty good fee to take care of that whole process for you.
Yeah.
There is another company out there. It's called Trinity Debt Management.
I've heard of that.
Christian company. You'll hear them advertised on local stations.
Okay.
They will do all the legwork behind the scenes. They'll contact your creditors. They will, I think it's maybe $20 a month to manage
Okay.
everything for you. They will work everything out they'll get your rates down. They'll get collection calls to stop, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Been there when I was younger.
Done that.
And they'll negotiate these lower rates and lower payments. They lump it all into one payment. You send your payment to Trinity. Trinity disperses those payments for you every month. And then quarterly, you get an update on where your balances are.
Okay.
And as you have money available, you can send that directly to the credit card companies to further accelerate the payment, the down, paying down of the balances.
Right.
What they'll do is as you pay off one balance, they just take that amount and just roll it to the next.
Kind of like the debt
balance.
snowball, basically.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
You're listing your debt smallest to largest, starting
Yes.
with the smallest, and
Knock out the small ones.
pay minimum
roll
on
it.
everything. Knock that small one out, parlay it to the next one, the next one, and
Right.
yeah.
It's it's hard. It's hard enough when you get into a situation like that, but then to have companies that are preying on people, like the first option that I spoke about,
Right.
I think they're predatory.
Yeah.
And going with another company like the second option, they do actual counseling during this whole process, and they
Right.
come at it from a biblical perspective.
Okay.
And it's, and don't even get me started on student loan fiasco. That's just
It's just getting worse and worse.
it's so out of control, and people who actually got sucked into that whole thing where our former president said he was going to, eliminate student
Yeah.
debt and all that.
Yeah.
It was a very select population who was even eligible for that.
Yeah. And if you really cared, you'd stop making the loans.
Right.
Right. So there's that whole side of it. Yeah, we're going to let some people go, but we're going to keep making these loans.
Right.
Really?
Right.
How's that happen?
They just,
They don't care.
our government is famous for that, regardless of what party is in,
Yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
charge.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just print more money.
Print it, baby.
Let's lend more money.
Yeah.
And I strongly caution everybody, but in particular Christians, when you have debts, pay them back. Whatever it takes, pay them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not only is your integrity in question, but you're bringing reproach on the name of Christ.
Yeah. I mean, the scriptures clearly say the borrower is slave to the lender. Again, not 100% sure where it is, but I know it's in there.
Yes. And it's mentioned enough times that I think it's covered.
Yeah, I think so.
I know it's in the Old Testament somewhere. Yeah, it's in the New
It's
Testament
somewhere.
somewhere too. And
I can tell you it's between Genesis 1 and the concordance at the end.
right. But I mean, God's very, very clear. God's never unclear about anything.
Right. Right.
But he's very clear about how we're to handle our money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the actual count is like 2,365 verses or something like that.
Yeah.
365, don't be afraid, do not fear. I mean, one for every day.
Yep.
But 2,300 on our stuff and our money.
You think that's important to God?
You think? You think? It's kind of, yeah. But we just don't get it still.
No.
We still don't get it. How many verses are in the Bible? Do you know?
Oh, goodness.
A lot.
I
know.
forget.
I was just curious what the percentage actually was, right? The 2,300 verses versus the whole thing.
We'll have to come back to that.
Yeah, we will. We have to do a whole nother segment.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, Pete, thanks. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Thanks
Hey,
for
thanks for having me. I appreciate
anytime,
it.
man. We'll do this more often.
My pleasure.
Do you work at Chick-fil-A?
Long time ago.
Awesome. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
Thanks for your thoughts, your insights, and the conversation. And yeah, just looking forward to doing it again. We'll have to figure out another theme.
Yeah,
Come
for
up with
sure.
something. Maybe I'll have you on monthly, and we'll just keep doing this.
Hey, why not?
Right?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, man.